capital.
Okay, probably, yeah. Okay, so I started the recording. Okay, so Arlene, am I correct?
Yes.
You are using this here, right? Converge, or what is it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So
Yes. Virtual Merchant Converge. Yeah.
okay. So and basically, in the back end, you have something like in the back end there, you have something like a form like this here. You have a form like this where you can enter payments. Is that correct?
After I've done the Converge, is that
Yeah.
what you're asking?
Yeah. Like I mean,
Oh,
when
oh no. Okay. I'm sorry. Yes. When I sign into Virtual Merchant, that I fill in a screen that looks somewhat like that. Yes.
right. Okay. So it's that's basically the same. So yeah, here like you once you sign in there, you go whatever there. I don't know how Converge looks. You go to payments or whatever, and you click on create a payment, and then you have a form here that you fill out and yeah, and
Yes.
then you save it, or you create the payment, and basically once you download a report from Converge there, I don't know how often you do it or whatever, these payments will be summarized, right? So
Right.
so Stripe has exactly the same feature. However, it's funny, Stripe really doesn't want you to use it, or they only want you to use it in how can I say, under certain under certain circumstances, because when using this form, they cannot get on. That's their rationale. They cannot confirm how you handle the credit cards that you have, right? They don't know if you're compliant or whatever. And so they only want you to use this form really under really really certain circumstances. But what we suggested is what we suggest is simply we will simply create a form like this on the back end of the CIM website. And the beauty about that is that you then can download a report as well, right? Or you can download a payment transaction report that is generated on the CIM website. Then we can give you a date picker and so on, and we can give you a date picker and so on, and yeah, like once a month or whatever, you download, or you have to do that for membership anyways. You have to go to Stripe and download a history report. Once you do payments, they will all appear here, right? And you can always export them. And once a month, you would probably do that anyways, or I don't know, more than once a month, you will probably do that anyways to. Yeah, so you can see how much money was transferred into your accounts, etc., from all sources of payment. But again, like the thing, yeah.
Michael, sorry, it's Betty. I just want to clarify. This is only for anything not related to membership.
Exactly. So yeah, we will
Okay.
let's say if we go to the if we go to the CIM if we go to the CIM website backend. So I log in here. So we will create here a new tab or whatever, which will be called other payments. And then, yeah, once we are in other payments, we will mimic, or we will have probably several subtabs. Do I have one here? If I go right, so once we click on the payment tabs, we will have probably several sub tabs. Ones that will say whatever, enter payments. The other one will say reports or whatever. And then when you go and download, or if you would want to download a report, you click on the report tab. So, but the payment tab or the payment form, one tab will say add payment or whatever. We will create a very generic form that looks very similar to this one. I mean, we can reverse the order. We can say I don't know if you need to. We just have to establish today what fields you need. Let's put it this way. I mean, here's a little one that says description. But yeah, maybe Aline should just tell us what she enters, and then we get a better
Yes.
idea. Yeah.
Okay. Things like credit transfer fees, course extensions,
Okay.
the different designation application fees. If I order, if a member wants a replacement certificate, those are the kinds of things I would use it for.
Okay.
There's also other payments that Jennifer would use as well.
But would you just type a description in for all those things Arlene described, Michael? It would be the same form, just you would type in a description like credit transfer fee or
Could there be a drop-down box? Is there that
Yeah,
capability?
we can do that if you tell us, like you said, credit transfer fees. You said
Yeah.
transcript fees, right? Was it transcripts? No.
Yeah, there's transcript
and
fees as well.
transcripts. I think
Yeah.
the best thing to do there, Arlene, would be for you to prepare a list
Yeah, yeah,
and send it to all of us
right,
Yep.
exactly.
if you want a drop down.
Right,
Yep.
and whatever. Then we can also like if there's something that is not on your list, the last item could be other or whatever, and then below is other description or whatever, right?
Okay. And I'll also get a hold of Jennifer to make sure that anything that she needs in that drop-down would be there as well.
Okay, and I don't know. I mean, we could still maybe enter the member's first name, last name, and maybe their member number or something like that. Just in case, like if you send someone a credit or if you charge a credit transfer fee or whatever, just in case, so we know for who it
That
was,
would be helpful.
right?
Well, would we not need to know that? Because is there a feasibility for any other payments, whatever they may be, to appear in the membership payment history?
Corby, what do you think? I mean, we wanted to keep it clean, actually, right?
Yeah, it's not going to be membership driven though, Arlene.
Right. I mean,
No.
we wanted to keep it clean and keep it really just basically to the year. I mean, I mean, Corby, we could do another tab here, which could be other payments or something like that. Would that,
We can do that.
right?
Yeah, we just don't want it mixed in with the membership payments.
No, exactly. So this would be membership payments, and then there could be a tab here, other payments or whatever. That would work. Then we could.
Well, I was just going to say is I think it's really important that we do have a payment history for these members that are doing other things.
Okay.
Because I do refer to that from time to time.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep it clean. Do another tab.
Right.
Okay. I'm good with that.
And then Corby, how would the cleanest way to be? What would the cleanest way then be on this form? Look up a member, like or no?
Probably just like what you see at the top there. Like current. Well, we don't need currency, but there'll be amount,
Right.
the credit card info, the payment type drop down. We'll have a description anyways.
Yeah. So
And
that's
then maybe just like member ID, and then we can pull like their first name, last name, all the stuff we want just from that one field, member ID.
okay. So description pull down, right? And then yeah, Arlene, if then yeah, like Corby said, like we make a number, we make a field for the member ID, and what would happen once you enter that? The rest populates? No.
That would be
Well, I think
wonderful.
you would look up the member ID first before you do it, so you know who you're entering the payment for.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So okay.
I would always have paperwork in front of me as to what their membership number is and who they are and what their address is and all that good information
Okay.
before I start.
Okay. Good. And then okay. So then yeah, and then basically, I mean, then we have whatever cardholder's name. That here is basically always the for Stripe. This is the payment. This is the payment info, right? Cardholder's name, street, or whatever. That is probably the address that's the address that's connected to a cardholder's card, right? Which is not necessarily the membership record address. I would say this is the payment address, right? Like, I mean, let's say if I use a company credit card to make a transaction or whatever, that address might be different than the one I have on my membership record. So this here would be kind of like an optional field, right? I mean, basically, to tie it to a member, all we need to know anyways is really just first name, last name, the member number, most importantly, member number, and then first name, last name, or whatever. That's basically all we need. That's all we need to tie it to a member. And this here is the payment information. We probably have to add it or whatever. I don't know. Do you ever have to enter on do you have to? I mean, they say optional. It is also not really necessary. But these guys here, what were they called? What were they called here? The
the Converge?
yeah, Converge. Do they ever
The one
ask?
I'm using, yes, the system I'm using right now, I need to know the person's credit card expiry date and security code. I need to know their
Whoa.
membership number, their chapter, their and then I have to put the name on the card and an address and a phone number and an email, and all of those are required fields
Wow.
for the system. Yeah, it's very time intensive,
Okay.
but it
Hopefully
works.
yours won't need all that.
No, we
But
won't.
that's exactly what I was just going to say. If you're happy without, if the system works without me having to put all that information in, I would be so excited.
Yeah, I mean
Me too.
the card holder's name you have to put in probably. Like if they give you a card, or Corby, do we? Yeah, we always ask that on our front
I don't
end.
think we have to, but we probably should.
Yeah, we should.
Yes.
The card holder's
Extra
name.
security.
Yeah, the
So
card.
I should start asking the person for their card holder name. Sometimes the people give it to me, sometimes it is the person, sometimes it's not.
Yeah, because lots of times they're using company cards.
Right.
We
Yeah,
don't need the address or the security code on the card or anything like that.
no, a security code is actually really security code should only be for online transactions. Because even the credit card company does, not sorry, even the payment provider here, like Stripe or whatever, or my virtual merchant, they do not store that. They just check it briefly and then they do not store that. They store the credit card number though, because they have to. If anyone ever wants a refund, then they have to know the credit card number. But the CVC security code is never stored by any of these. Okay, so. All right. So basically, the flow would be really like if you there will be a new tab. There will be a new tab here, like a very general one. There will be a new tab here that is called other payments. And yeah, you can go there now. And up comes a form like this. And I think it will probably always be Canadian dollar. We will not. There will not be an option. There will not be an option for different. Currencies or whatever. So we will bill in Canadian dollars. So and then you basically what would the first step be? You have to know the member's number. If it is a payment tied to the member's number to a member, right? Then you have to get the member's number. And yeah, Corby, that's basically all that's required, right? Or member,
Yeah.
yeah, or yeah, the membership number or whatever. So. We should basically start the form like that, right? First, enter the member number, and then the second thing is then we would ask basically for description. What is this for? It will be a pull down, right? This description pull down. This description pull down would be the next thing. So and then I don't even know what this means here. Statement description will appear on statement as CIM 999. Okay.
Oh, I think
That's
you wanted
probably
to
what shows
appear
up
in a
on the
statement
card.
as CIM.
Yeah, so I mean and if in doubt or whatever, your accountant might can maybe tell you what he wants to see or whatever. I don't know, but it's funny, like they have
Well,
this.
isn't it just so when the person gets their bill, it says CIM or Canadian Institute of Management? Isn't that what that's for?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I would think so, but it's very
So
general.
you need something that's going to jog their memory that, oh yeah, I did get that from CIM. That's my membership or my transcript or whatever. So
Right, but it's funny. I mean, that would go here into the description, like member, like we have a pull down there, right?
yes, but then the statement description, I think, is to show what company. So when it goes on their statement,
Onto the member statement.
yeah,
Right.
it shows that that's a CIM
Okay,
or
Without
Canadian.
dots in it.
yeah.
Not unless it's a designation,
Yeah.
and it's not.
I mean, it came like that by default. So I would think probably that, like, it came like that by default. I saw initially I didn't type it like this C.I.M.
Yes, I saw that too.
I wonder
I think
whether
that's just your Stripe like account name.
yeah, it comes maybe here from the business
Yeah,
setting.
they might have. Yeah.
Here it is. Yeah, statement descriptor. CIM. That's where it comes from. Okay, so that's okay.
So can we change that to just CIM with no dots?
Yeah, can I save that here? So and I click here.
I'm gonna ask on the Converge thing. Does it send email receipts at all or anything
No.
like that?
No.
It would
you
be
want
wonderful.
your system to do that?
Well, yeah, because right now Arlene's doing everything manual, so she enters it in there. Then she needs to send a receipt. then she needs to enter it all into the database. So it's labor intense.
Right,
Because
right.
there's a field here where you can enter in an email to send a receipt. We could add something like that and just send them a PDF
Awesome.
receipt by email.
That would be nice.
Okay.
Can we make that option? Can we make that an option? Not everyone asks for a receipt, or
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't matter. I suppose it doesn't matter if they get one or not.
I think it's a good idea that everybody gets one.
Okay, let's go with that.
Okay. So receipt. I mean, we have when I go back to member payments here, when I go to a member or whatever, I think if we do a payment, there was an option: do not send
Yep.
receipt, do not send receipt or whatever. I mean, maybe we can put that option there, and by default maybe it's send a receipt and then just have an option.
We can just have like an email field, like on that Stripe page, it says email for receipt. If you just leave it blank, it won't send one, kind of thing. And if you fill it in, then it will.
Okay. Do we do that? Because what happens if this email is now different from the member record or whatever? Does it really matter? No, that would be just for this payment, right?
Yeah, it's just like if you want to send a receipt to a different email, you could do it, kind of thing.
Okay. So,
Yeah, if you leave that blank, then from time to time, more often than not, I'll put it this way, more often than not, when I'm asked for a receipt, it is a company.
okay.
So, say example, if an employee is applying for a DE course and the company is paying for it, the email would not go to the student. It would go to possibly someone in their HR or their supervisor, whoever's credit card it is.
Okay.
Right. So you just ask them what email you want them to go, for the receipt to go to, or
yeah, they tell
if
me.
you don't know, you could leave it blank, and then you can in this other payments tab, we'll have it so you can just re-download the receipt and you could email it to whoever later on if you didn't know at the time.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So okay. So I just want to recap. So first field will be member number. Second thing will be a description pull down, which includes other, and then maybe a field other is. Good. So then basically, what else do we need? What else do we need? It then comes basically the amount, right? The amount. We want to know the amount. Then after the amount, we want to know the cardholder name. We want to know the card number. The card number. CVV code, not right, Corey. We should just leave it,
No.
right?
Right.
Right. No CVV number, but then whatever expiry. We will ask for the expiry. Whatever this statement description. Okay, statement description is a pull-in. It will come. It didn't save. Okay, I will fix that in a moment.
We don't usually fill that in.
No, we don't.
Just pull that default value.
Right. It will fill that in. It will pull that in from the settings here under business settings. Good. So then whatever do a cardholder's name. We do not need to ask for the cardholder street and city and state and province and so on. This is basically the billing address or whatever. We don't need to ask that. We don't even need to ask for the country. But then we ask email for receipt, right? For receipt. So
yes, if we leave that in.
Okay, so and what was the rule? If we enter an email send receipt, if it is blank? If it is blank?
If it's blank, we don't send it.
Okay.
But you can always, from our other payments tab, you'll see each payment you've made, and you can download the receipt again and send that manually to someone.
Oh, the same as you can from the membership receipt.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, perfect.
Blank, no receipt. So, okay. I mean, that is basically all that we need for this form, right? Yeah, member number, description pull down, any comment field. Do we need a comment?
I can't think of any reason why I would.
No, okay.
No, I can't think of any reason either.
Okay. So basically, first thing that Arlene or Jennifer will enter is the member number after you have looked it up or whatever. Then we have a description pull down, and Arlene and Jennifer will provide a list.
Michael, with that list, if something else crops up that we're finding we use and we forget about, it's easy to add on, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. And we start
Perfect.
out with having other at the bottom of the list, and then when you select
Yes.
other, you can always, then there will be a field below other is where you type in what this
Just
other.
thinking every once in a while we do something unusual and
Right.
we change something, so it gets to be a frequent payment. Would we be able to add it to the drop down?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Perfect.
Arlene, another question. Do you ever have enter a payment that's not related to any member? Because then
I would say I don't,
okay.
but Jennifer does.
Okay.
If she, we use the other payment drop down now, or Jennifer does more than I would before I would. For if a branch orders pins, and then they send a check or send payment. Now, I believe, if I remember correctly, all the chapters are going to be assigned a number. Is that correct?
Right. They'll have an ID.
They'll have an ID number. So she would use, I guess it would apply to that, the same thing. The chapter would be considered the member number. Is that correct?
We probably wouldn't. We wouldn't want to build it that way, because we'll really tie that into the membership system, whether if it's member ID.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
we can give you like a box to type in, something like a weird payment like that. You can just type it into like a description box. I think we should keep that description box, but add like a payment type too, like the list that you're going to give us.
The reason I was just asking is that member number field will be optional. On the payment form. So right, because if you ever enter a payment that is not tied to a member, then what would we do?
You would just leave that blank, and then I think you just give it a description, like for that example, like a chapter pins payment or something. You type into the description box, and then for like the payment type, you would just put other.
Yes.
Yeah. Payment type, Corby. What do you mean?
Like that drop down that we're making, you just put other, since it wouldn't fall into one of those like predetermined categories we're going to get sent.
Okay, so then it would be other. You select an other, and then you have to enter the other. Then you have to enter the other purpose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yes, I would say mostly when Jennifer receives a payment from a chapter, it would be in check form.
Okay.
Not credit card.
Right. Okay.
Absolutely, you're right.
Okay. There we go. Yeah.
So we'll want to have the option to not process the credit card maybe and still store that kind of payment, or is this only for credit card payments?
They don't. The ones that Jennifer does that are supplies and pins and that do not show in our current database anywhere.
Okay. So do you want them to show?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Because they're nothing to do with.
Okay. Cool. So basically, then this, then the question is, would Jennifer even have to enter those? Like, or should any payments that are not tied to a member, should they even go into this?
Well, I thought they weren't. I thought that was the whole purpose of this, is if they weren't tied to a member, they weren't going in here.
Okay, great, cool. Yeah, then we do it that way. So then
that was my understanding, Michael, right from the start. Corey, if I'm wrong, tell me now.
Yeah, no.
I thought that this was strictly for something that applied to a member.
Okay, cool. No, that's good with us. So the only question is then, oh yeah, that's why the only question is then, you say, Jennifer, we said initially, right now and this is how we got here, is you want to discontinue Converge eventually, right, and just use Stripe.
Yes.
So, but Stripe has a payment. Stripe has a payment form here, but
if there's the odd one, we could use that. Right?
Yeah, but they don't want us to use it all the time. That's. No,
but I'm saying if there was the odd exception, we could use that.
Oh yes.
all of the ones Jennifer does because our chapters aren't allowed to have credit cards.
Okay, great.
They're all paid by check.
Okay, yeah, and if there's the odd credit card thing, yeah, Corby, then she can go here and fill this one out, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
But it would be real rare because, like I said, anything that chapters pay, they pay Jennifer by a check.
Okay, cool. Then
There's an invoice in our accounting package, and there's a check that's going to start going in there as a payment against receivables. So it shouldn't have to apply here at all.
Oh, okay, then we're good. I mean, then we don't even have to. Then we don't even have to.
Currently, it shows in our database, but it's kind of bastardized. It was never meant to be an accounting package.
Okay, cool. All right, no, then we don't have to even worry about it. Then basically anything that we do here is then tied to a member, like any payment that Arlene enters.
Yeah, so it will be a change for Jennifer the way she does it because she currently enters a manual invoice and nothing happens to it.
Okay.
Now she's going to do a manual invoice. She's going to give it to the bookkeeper.
Okay.
Then when a payment comes in against that invoice, a check goes in the bank and the bookkeeper takes care of it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Right, and cool.
I think it just makes it cleaner.
Right, it will, yeah. So, and then basically anything that Arlene enters through the generic form will be tied to a member. And then when she goes to a member later on, okay, so these will be the membership payments, and there will be another tab called Other Payments or whatever. And there we just list credit transfer fee, whatever, $80 or
so
whatever.
It would be like the drop down that Arlene supplies you, right?
No, there would be no. What would happen is what would happen is like if I go to the payments here at the bottom, I have the payments listed or whatever, right? And when we have this for a member, this other payments tab, all that happens will be a list. Like this. All that will happen is a list. It will be a list like this, which lists all the payments that Arlene has entered. It will say, I mean, it will obviously have different columns or whatever, right? It will say description. It was whatever.
Credit transfer fee.
Credit transfer fee. It will have like whatever date paid, amount, or whatever, right? So and yeah.
I got a quick question.
Yeah.
Because since all these payments are going to be tied to members, then we might as well just build it instead of having a separate tab like in the top of the admin navigation. Like we can just do it just like we're doing this payments tab. So the form would be like just right here on the tab, and then the payments would show up in a table below if they have any.
I know. I think that would be confusing because I mean that's my opinion, because here we have a form on the top or whatever that allows us to enter a payment for a membership. It might get confusing. Whatever Arlene might.
Another tab is fine, I think. If it works for you.
It'd be another tab. Like it wouldn't be on this page. It'd be another tab called Other Payments. But I'm just saying it would look like this page,
right?
So that you wouldn't have to enter in like a member ID. It would just be because you're already editing that member.
Oh,
the member ID.
Oh, sorry. That's what you mean. You would eliminate that one here on the top. At
the very top. We get rid of that. We wouldn't need Other Payments. It would just be in this.
Oh yeah,
member.
That's absolutely right, Arlene. Yeah, that will be even better, right, Corby? Okay, so what will happen is member Michael Mask or whatever wants a replacement certificate. So you go now to edit. You will now go to edit Michael Mask or whatever, and then you go to the tab called Other Payments, and Other Payments will kind of look like this. It will just instead of this form, it will contain the form that we have just discussed.
Right.
But then
and we wouldn't need member ID.
Right, but now, we wouldn't need member ID. But now comes the other question: do you enter people there do people ever pay you with a check for a replacement certificate?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So then you would have to have the option on this form to enter. Sorry for the noise. Then you would have to have the option. To enter a check payment on this form here as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So all right.
It doesn't happen often, but it does happen.
Okay. So that's what we will do then. Okay. So that there will then be no special tab here that says Other Payments, since everything that you enter is tied to a member. Yeah. like just to recap, you look for the member, you will look for the member, right? You will, you will search for the member or whatever, and so then here is the member. Then you click on edit. And you do not go to payments. We will relabel this to membership payment or whatever, and then here we will say other payments. So you click then on the other payment tab, and the other payment tab will look. It will not contain whatever these things, income code maybe or whatever, but it will now contain. Next question is, in a replacement certificate, is there HST or something like that included, or is it just
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So then we would do it like this here: subtotal text total, or whatever. Right. This is the total amount you charge. And then there will be a thing. Payment method. You select here. You select check, credit card, or whatever, or complimentary.
Yeah, check's already there. So
yeah, check is there, right? So and whatever. If you select credit card, then then you put in these things that we just said here: cardholder's name, the card. Description is description should come maybe before, right? The description field. So we don't need this here, but we will have the description pull down or whatever. There will be the description pull down. Then you select the payment type. Then you select the payment type, will be credit card or check or whatever. And then when you select check, then you have to enter the check name, number, and financial institution. If you select credit card, then you have to enter the credit card. We will put a payment form down here, right, Corby?
Yeah.
Yeah, we will put a payment form down here, like with these credit card number, date, and then cardholder's name. So and then that's basically it, right? And then after the payment it is entered, there will be a list down here as well, like with the other payments. Will not look like this. Yeah, right. So.
Question, Michael?
Yeah.
Do I put in the gross amount and put in the tax manually, or
is it converted?
Yeah, because
is it tied to a branch? Because the other payments that I charge, the tax rate is tied to the member's province. It's not tied to Ontario. So again, the same as with the membership payments, the tax rates are different for the other payments.
Right. I mean, our thing up here, process renewal by credit card, that considers everything already.
That goes by the chapter.
Right, goes by the chapter right now. So I don't know.
It would be nice if the check amounts did too, because then she wouldn't have to figure out tax or anything. It would just calculate.
Like if I just put in this screen that's in front of me right now, if I put in the subtotal, if I put $50, and we know it's member whoever, and they're in Ontario, and it put in the tax, the $650 automatically and calculates the total, or is that possible?
Yeah, we could do that.
That would be, I guess what we're looking for is anything that saves data entry, anything that saves us time, and that's a biggie.
Right, but Corby, that would almost be JavaScript, right? I mean,
yeah, it is. Yeah.
Right. I mean, because like this form loads with a form field, so there must be a formula then that, okay, if you type in here 100 or whatever, then automatically $13 shows up here if it's Ontario or whatever.
Yes.
And
so can you do that, Corey?
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Good.
Oh.
All right. So, I mean, I'm glad that we're doing this, because we're not talking. Oh, this approach has changed now, right? but which is actually cool. I didn't know before that that all the info that Arlene enters is tied to a member. Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, that's what you requested on our very first meeting, is that everything be tied to, that we keep the database clean.
Yeah.
Everything be tied to a member, and if it isn't tied to a member, we're going to find a different solution.
Okay, cool.
Because it shouldn't be going in the database.
Okay, that's super cool. No, that is really cool. All right. So no, then we are.
That was my understanding.
Yeah. No, then we are. Yeah, no, I wanted to say, like, we are absolutely clear now on how this will work. There will not be a tab here. There will be instead, when you go to the members and you search for a member, like any member comes with a payment for something or whatever, you search for the member.
Sorry, Michael. So I can, when you open that screen, I can just type in the member ID. I would just type in their membership ID, and it would pop up as to what I am looking for.
Yeah, if you know the member's ID, yeah, you can type it in. And remember, we also have the legacy member ID, because when we import, everybody will get a new ID, right? But here will also be the old legacy member ID. We will store that or whatever. If you know the member,
and Arlene can search by last name as well, though, right?
Like, yeah.
Did you tell us that whole block is searchable things?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, exactly. So here I can enter the member ID, and you see we have here right now, we have here a member and a CMGR or whatever. If I select here now CMGR and I click search, I will find all the people who are CMGRs or whatever. And you see it's Corby in this scenario, right? So, or let's say you know of that member only the last name, and you type it in here, mask or whatever, and you click search now. You will see now this member, right? And of course, if it is Miller, you will probably have, or Smith, you will have many results, right? But therefore, you can also type in a first name, right? If I type in Michael Mask or whatever, and I search for it, I will still get the same result. If I type in John, John Mask or whatever, I will not get a result because we don't have one, right? There are no results for that criteria. The more you type in, the narrower your search, right? And there is no John Mask in the database. So therefore, I just search for the last name, and here it is. So if you want to enter a payment for anything, you first locate the member, then you go to edit. There will now be a new tab called Other Payments. A new tab called Other Payments. You click on that, and up will come a form minus the screen thing there, a form that looks very much like this. It will basically start somewhere here. Or no, we said we will start probably. Corby, should we start with the fee or the purpose thing? Purpose thing probably first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we would start again with the description pull down. We would start with our description pull down. Like that's the purpose of the payment. Then comes the subtotal fee. Like you enter a subtotal, and then the tax and total will appear. And then we won't have these here. That will not be there. But payment method will be there, and you select check, credit card, complimentary. Is there anything that is complimentary? No, then we don't need to enter a payment. We don't know. It will be check or credit card. If you select credit card or whatever, then these fields like a cardholder name, card number, and expiry date will appear, and you fill in those. If you select check, then you will have. If you select check, then you will have these fields here. Check name, which is or name on check, and then check number and financial institution, the bank, and then date paid. You pick a date, like whatever it's today, or maybe I don't know if the check was received the week earlier or whatever. You can enter that date. I don't know, and then we don't need member end date. We don't need update membership year or whatever. But we will have this thing here. Do not send receipt or send receipt. And if you select send receipt, then it will go to the address that they have on their record, that they have in their record as, what is it called? Email address somewhere. Where was that field?
Or can we type one in?
Or should we?
I'm asking because I know Arlene said sometimes the receipts go to the business, not the member.
Okay. Yeah, Corby, should we do it that way? Hello?
We can do it either way. It's up to you guys.
Okay.
Arlene, what works best?
I would say I wouldn't be offended if I had to type in an email address there.
Oh, okay. So
keep
all right.
it clean.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, as Corey said, if someone asks for a receipt later, I can always go back into the payment history and send it to them.
Right, and there will be something like this here. There will be something like this here. It will show up. There's a receipt which you can download again. Good. So I think that is solved then. I think, Is there anything we have not considered?
Okay, I've got one question for you, and I don't know how we can solve this one. It's an exception to the rule, which is what makes it challenging. One of the chapters, BC chapter, they have a membership fee across the board of $209.50 tax in. They also have a few, and it's either 2 or 3 educational institutions that they deal with that they give special membership fees to. And then on top of that special membership fee, they charge a $25 chapter admin fee. They're moving, and right now they're paying by check, but they're one of the institutions especially is, and I'm not, well, let's deal with them separately. So how can where can I manipulate those membership fees to enter them with the fees that I'm being submitted? What they do is I don't know, they send about $199 is one of them, and we take the standard $118 for national fee, so there's no change with that. We take the $10 management fee, there's no change with that. And because the fee is lower, there's less GST, but it's still calculated at 5%. And the balance goes to the chapter. And then there's this $25 admin fee that we collect it, but then we reimburse the chapter for that. Have you folks got any solutions as to how we can handle that situation?
I'm not sure that I even understood the understood the problem correctly. So let's say there are particular members like a John Doe, Jane Doe, or whatever, which are BC chapter members or whatever, which pay different fees, correct? Or
Right. Some of their students pay at a different fee than the standard fee.
Right.
Some students pay $209.50. Some don't.
Well, and then I mean, but that will be a problem even if they renew. Do they renew online?
No, here again, Michael. It's generally a one-time only payment, and we never hear from these people again.
Oh, okay. I mean, but you would still, like, let's say it's a one-time payment for a particular person, John Doe or Jane Doe, right? I mean,
but we treat them just like a member, just like they're a new member, and we enter all the information, anticipating that they will maintain their membership forever. 99.9% of the time they don't.
They don't. Okay, so I mean, we have these free-form fields, right? I mean, if I look at a member, that's why we have these free-form fields. I mean, this button here always pulls up from the chapter table what they should pay. Right, this pulls up what they really should pay. It looks here. It looks in. It looks here in our chapter table if they belong to chapter 3, or whatever. And this fee table will absolutely determine what comes up in this green button. Right? So now, but there are these free-form fields, and you said most of the time is a check because then we are fine off. You could enter anything that you want here, like a different subtotal.
You've answered my question.
Yeah, a different subtotal or whatever. And if it's by check, you just select the payment method, check here, right? But I don't know this. In our reports, we may have a problem, right, Corey? Because we don't know really about
the different like chapter admin fees and whatnot. Like that's why we had originally like where you see management direct subscription, how it's auto filled in there.
Right.
We talked about that last meeting, and we had the chapter course fees or field there as well, just in case there was a weird payment like this.
Right.
Now we're hiding that. So I don't know if this is enough for you to edit to make that like reporting tool like make sense, or do you need us to add that chapter course things back?
I mean, I guess what I'm trying to think is that admin fee really tied to a membership fee, or if I entered it under the other payments, as long as there's some way, I don't, and in this part I don't really understand, is how that $25 the system would know to send that $25 to the chapter
Right.
and not National keep it.
Right, because Kobe, that
like all the other payments that we've talked about, the credit transfer fees and the apps fees and all that kind of thing, they are all kept by National, but this $25 admin fee goes back to the chapter.
$25 admin fee. So you have to give the chapter at one point money back. But I mean, it's not recorded here in the chapter setup anywhere. No, and it applies only to BC.
Yes.
So would it help to know chapter admin fee? I mean, or do we have to add? Do we have to add to the chapters? Do we have to add to the chapters here a chapter admin fee? And it's zero everywhere. It's zero everywhere except, or it's a percentage. No, it would be. Percentage is silly. It would have to be. It would have to be a fee again, right? Like a chapter admin fee. Like and
Is it always $25, Arlene?
Yes.
Okay. So maybe we have
and
to
somehow, and I'm not sure about the mathematics when it comes to it, but it's a $25 fee, and from what I understand, I was given the fees and I just work with them. I understand they do charge GST, 5% on that $25, and it comes out of the first fee. When I go into our database to enter this information, I have to make two entries. I make the one for the membership payment that I take off the National fee, the management direct, the branch fee, taxes, and all that. Then I make another entry, just $25 into the branch, transferred to the branch, done.
Okay, so that only applies to BC. I mean, the question is, do we need now another field here in our chapter setup that is called whatever, chapter transfer fee or whatever, and it is zero. But you say it also doesn't apply to every BC member. It only applies to some BC members, right?
Just
okay.
to this group of students.
Right.
And I don't know whether this helps clarify it for you, Michael, but they're international students that come into these private colleges and take a crash course. Basically, they're here for maybe a year, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, and pay their membership one time. They get a certificate from us, and they go back home from wherever they came from.
And we never hear from them again.
The odd one will stay. The odd one will maintain their membership, but they certainly don't have to, and as a general rule, they don't.
Oh boy, yeah, what do we do? And that applies only to BC and only to a part. That's almost...
Is it possible, if it's as simple as adding on that sheet that you said I can manipulate the fees, the payment sheet?
That's this one here, yeah. So
that one.
You could add like a chapter admin fee.
Yes.
Yeah.
That no one would use except for me when I'm doing these students. Is it as simple as that?
Right. I mean, the backend nobody uses other than you and Jennifer or whatever, right? So you mean just adding here another field, like here's national membership fee or whatever, you add another fee here that is called chapter admin fee?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
we could do that.
Yeah. It would appear for everybody though, right? It would appear for everybody. And in most cases, it's zero, or zero could be the default, right? Or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah, and then for some of the people, you have to enter it. Yeah. And how do they pay? How do they pay? I mean,
most of them send me a check.
Right.
But we haven't had it. But that one college is moving towards.
Yes, e-transfers.
Oh,
thank you. I couldn't think of
electronic funds transfer.
Okay. Oh, right. Do we have to consider that here? Electronic ET?
It's ETF, electronic funds transfer, EFT, and they are getting to be more common, I think, all the time.
Okay.
So they just transfer money right into our bank account.
Okay.
So we probably got to add that as a payment method and add a
Yeah.
couple fields to record that.
Yeah. Here, ETF, yeah, we would have to add it here, then definitely. We would have to add it here, then definitely. And is there any identifier or whatever that they have to tell you, or how does it work? Is there?
Well, I mean, the bank will put an identifier on it, but we would never know what it was.
Okay. So, okay. So
I will know when because I'll receive membership applications and I won't have payment for them, or the payment information will be indicated.
Yeah.
But there won't be an indicator as.
No,
it's all set up through the banks.
Right. So no, what I just mean is like if someone has paid by ETF or whatever, will Arlene know? Yeah.
Yeah, she will, because it'll be the only way she'll be able to get payment. So they'll call her and say,
Okay.
I want to do an electronic funds transfer for my fees for these 5 students.
Okay.
So she'll be waiting for that money.
Okay. So
I'll receive paperwork for the students and we'll wait for the payment. We'll let Betty know to wait or watch for the payment coming.
Okay.
Because I'll have an amount.
Watch the bank for that amount to go through it, and then I'll tell her.
Right. So once you have that payment, then you go. Once you have that payment, then you would go and enter the payment here. Right. I mean, you would.
Yes. Into the members.
Yeah, you would enter the.
You get like a reference number when you accept the payment.
I would. At that point.
Okay, so maybe that should be another field here, ETF reference number, ref number, because because we said here we can make 3 types of payments. The simplest way is to process a renewal by credit card, right? So we you just enter the credit card, but the thing is, the fee charged here is exactly the one that this member would have to pay, right? So
that's right. What we see is what we charge.
Yeah, exactly. So the other thing is you make a manual payment. Right? And that manual payment could be by credit card as well. Like maybe, and the odd exception, you should not overdo it or whatever. You would go to Stripe here. And do a transaction or whatever, and in the end you will get a you would then enter. You get a so-called transaction ID from Stripe or whatever, right? So if you process a credit card payment this way here, like even for membership or whatever, but don't overdo it, then you would go back here and add that as an existing credit card payment. You would say credit card, right? And then card type, whatever you would select this here or whatever, here credit card name, that is what you entered here, and the credit card number. Whatever you enter here, we will not save that, right, Corby? Only the last 4 digits or something, right? So you might as well only enter the last 4 digits. Everything else we will not store anyways. So, and then the card expiry or whatever, and then the transaction ID that you got from here, you would enter that, and then you would click Add Payment, right? So okay. So now as a new method, then we would have to add ETF, electronic transfer, but then we have to give you an additional field that would say ETF ref number that you would add, just in case. So if one of these members ever asks or whatever, and that's why we are even entering here the last 4 digits of the credit card. If a member ever asks, like they might have several cards, then you can say specifically, oh yeah, you paid then and then, and you paid with card with your Visa card, or not your American Express or whatever, and because
and the last 4 digits were
right, and and what the last 4 digits were. I mean, in this case, here's a check payment or whatever. But so you could always identify that. So, but we have to add then ETF, and I
think that's going to get more popular.
Okay. Good.
Michael, just so I'm clear, if I receive, I'll just. I'm just looking at my file here. If I receive in my hot little hand here, I've got a student who wants to have a course extension. So I need to charge him $56.50. So the first thing I'm going to do is fill in the create a new payment put in.
Right. Oh, let me go back to the back end. So okay, let's get away from all these special cases. let me go back to the admin. Let's get away from all these special cases. You would go, like someone has a, what did you say, course transfer fee, right? 56.
The course transfer fee.
Yeah,
Yep.
course transfer. So you, first thing you go and look for this member. And here in this case, it's whatever mask, SKE did that. So you found the member and you go here then to edit. Here will be a new, this will be renamed to membership payments. Here will be a new field called other payments. So you go to that other payments tab. So, okay, so, and I'm just mimicking that now. So, and on the other payments tab, it will start with something like this. There will be one field above a pull down menu that will say description, right? And you pull down things. And here we said, what was it? Credit transfer fee, $56. So, and then I don't know, you enter the subtotal here, or whatever, and you said taxes should appear automatically.
That comes from the chapter, right? The tax rate.
Yeah, the tax rate comes from the chapter. Yeah. So, so then the total is here. Then this will not be there. This will not be there. And then payment method. You will select one of three things. You select check. If you select check, you have to enter check name, check number, financial institution, right? If you select credit card, there will be now a payment form which will be connected to Stripe. You will have to enter the card number, you will enter the card number, you will enter the expiry date, you will enter the name on the card, right?
Okay, and that will all be on this one sheet that I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, it will all be on here.
Perfect. Okay. Right. So now I'm understanding.
Right, and when there's a third payment method, like which is called ETF or whatever, then you will have to enter the ETF transaction number or whatever, right?
Okay.
So and then you click Add Payment. And it will appear now here. It will appear now below.
And that sends it right to the credit card company, and I don't have to do anything else.
No, exactly. When it is credit card, then it will send it directly to the credit card company, right?
Perfect. That's okay.
Okay, but sometimes we said you will have what was the special case? No, you won't have any weird thing on this other payment tab. No, but on member there was something weird now, right? On member there was something weird. So if I recap that, for the membership form, we add now a new field. If we go here to this membership payments form again, we have to add a new field here that was called chapter. What was it called? Chapter
administration fee.
Chapter administration fee. Administration fee.
And this is just for accounting purposes to show up in reports, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and that would be the place where it would be more important to, or equally as important, to have the payment method, the EFT payment method.
Yeah, we can add it to both.
Like the drop-down box, it says credit card right now. I don't know what else is on that drop-down box. So.
Right now check, credit card, complimentary. I mean, complimentary is only here. We always said to advance a membership year and so on, there should always be a payment, right? And there might be the occasional thing where someone wins at the conference a membership. I don't know if that happens or whatever, but
I leave that and put electronic funds transfers as an extra drop down.
Exactly. So that's what we will add. And for ETF, we will also add that ETF reference number. Right. And we will add a new field that will be called chapter admin field, chapter administration fee. So, and you can enter there whatever you like. So that, and if you, and you can enter, because these are free-form fields here, right? These are free-form fields. The only thing that can happen now is if these are free-form fields, and I don't know if that will happen, these are the free-form fields, and let's say you have to make a credit card payment, a real credit card payment for a renewal. You cannot use this because this will always charge what the chapter table would tell us, not a special case, right? So let's say you have to do a credit card payment for one of these special cases, and it's something really odd that doesn't come from our chapters table. In those rare cases, you actually would have to log into Stripe. You would log into Stripe and make this payment, and the outcome will be a transaction ID. Stripe will give you a transaction ID in the end. When you go directly to Stripe, let's say, and this is only for memberships, right? I mean, and for these rare cases where you have an odd fee or whatever, and somebody pays with a credit card instead of a check or ETF or whatever, you would go to Stripe, you do this payment, and you get a transaction ID. And then you go back to your payment form here, to the payment form for that member, and then you would select credit card. You would not use this green button. You would select, but I'm really only talking about membership. You would select credit card here, then you enter these fields here, these 4: credit card, name on card, credit card number, credit card expiry, and the transaction ID, because it's a payment that you do not process live, you have processed it before or whatever, right? And then you click add payment. That does it make sense, or have we lost you now?
No?
No, that's good.
Okay, good. All right. Cool. So yeah, I think we are all clear now on this one. Yeah, and they are always tied to a member. Yeah, they are always tied to a member. So that's really good. So yeah, Corby, that was a great observation. But yeah, so since it is tied to a member, we might as well put it into the member tab and not on a generic place.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. All right. So yeah, I have good notes here. Does anyone have another question?
I have a question, but it's when we're all done this. I just have a question about something that came up at our meeting on the weekend.
Okay. Yeah,
I want to know the.
Okay, so I have no more questions to this. Corby, do you?
No, I think I'm pretty clear.
Good. Aline?
No, I'm good, and I will send you folks. I'll make up the drop-down information for the drop-down box for the other payments, and I'll just double-check with Jennifer. But they're only items that are tied to membership.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, Betty, do you think we still need a P manager one? I don't think so, but
No, P managers are gone.
Thank you. That's my thought.
Now, Michael needs it somewhere to bring it in, but we don't need any membership payments to P managers.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, the P manager will show up here. If somebody is still one, it will show up.
If they already have it.
Yeah. Yes, that would only be for a P manager application, so I'll make sure to take that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I will get that to you, Michael, hopefully this afternoon.
Okay, good. And all right, so Doug, do you have anything?
No, not right now.
Okay.
I have a question about something else, but also came up at the
Okay, so yeah, maybe then we should do quickly the other questions.
Yeah, mine has nothing to do with what we're doing today.
Okay.
Mine has something to do that might happen, and I want to know the impact to the database.
Okay.
2 things may happen. We may go to budget-based funding for the chapters, which means all of the payments. So just say we collected $200 from Betty Smith.
Right.
Normally, National would keep 128 of that, and the rest would go to the chapter. What if we go to budget-based financing and National keeps the whole amount collected? What does that do to our database?
Okay, very simple. Like all these fees here become where is it here? If I go to these chapter fees, they become all of a sudden 0.
Yes, and that's not a huge big deal?
No, because you have to configure this page. You have to configure this page anyways every year. Every year, yeah. When if a chapter makes a change in their fees or whatever, but this top part here, you have to configure this here anyways, right? Once a year, like these are all the fees. So, and if you go to budget-based thing, you just set everything that's up here
all to 0.
All to 0. Yeah, that's all that would happen.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then I guess the same thing would happen if we went to standardized fees. We would just change all the fees to be $220.
Oh, you mean that every chapter, what would be
the same amount?
For this or here at the top? Like these are the fees that we charge?
So down there where the membership fees are all of a sudden all $200 all down there, just say.
Yeah.
That's not quite what I mean, but
yeah, that's what you would do. Or if it is decided that every chapter charges the same now or whatever for each thing, you would again manipulate just these fees, right? Yeah.
Perfect. So I guess my question is, and I think you've answered it, is it's not a hard thing to change if we make major changes to the way we collect and give money out.
No, it would.
Perfect.
This is the configuration fee. Yeah, this is where it would be done. It would be done by Aline and Jennifer or whoever configures those pages. Yeah, that's really
awesome.
simple. Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
think
don't
that's going
think
to
you would
have to be
zero.
Arlene.
I don't think
Because
you would zero out those national membership fees. You'd actually make those the same price as whatever the
Oh,
the
this year.
membership fee is, right?
Right. Oh, right. I mean, right now,
yeah,
this
so
what.
then all of a sudden that management direct would be $10, but the one underneath might be $200 because that's National's basic fee because they're getting the whole thing.
Right. Right. Exactly. Sorry. Yeah. It wouldn't be zero. It
Yeah,
would be 200. Yeah. Right. Right.
perfect.
Right. It would be
Okay, so
200.
it's not a huge major thing.
No. No. No.
We could handle that, Doug.
Yeah, be about 30 minutes work.
Yeah.
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 Just
The
going
problem,
into chapter by chapter and making the changes.
Yeah.
Okay. I just needed to know that
Right.
because that's a couple of the changes we've been discussing.
Right. Right. And
the
yeah.
problem I see though is that like some of those membership fees don't, they're not the same. So like, well, I don't know, the member fee is 180 and the CMGR fee that's 200. So if you wanted to
Yes.
have National take 100% of it, you'd have to make it 200, but that's more
Mhm.
than the actual membership fee. So
That's okay. We would work the logistics out of what it's going to be as long as we know that it's not
right. I mean,
20
here.
weeks of work to do it.
Right. I mean, this here basically on the top always indicates how much national takes of this, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
So, I mean, we would determine that and then all branches would be the same. So we would just work through it.
right. 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 Yeah.
And then if we decided to do that, then the fee down below, the $200 there would be up top under the national membership fee would just change to $200.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Nope, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay.
Michael, I just had another question, and I don't know whether, sorry to throw a monkey wrench in it. If you go down to the, like this example here, we have the HST rate is 13%, and you've noted the distance ed fee as $300. Now, the tax that is calculated on a distance education registration fee, we don't calculate the tax on the full amount.
Yeah, you're
Only
right.
membership, right?
It's only on the membership portion.
Oh.
So that $645 that we actually take in from the student, we only calculate tax on $178 of that $645.
Cool.
Sorry, I have all the exceptions to the rules.
Right, right. I mean, distance education. But then again, once again, we had the last time. Does anyone really? Nobody will renew distance education online or that membership type.
Nobody.
No, you will
Nobody.
do it in the back end, right? You will do it in the
So
back end.
Okay, so I'm manipulating those fees to make them work to what I want them to be.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what I would say. You go again to whatever this case. Let's say I reset my filters here, and let's say Corby is a distance education person or whatever, right? And I mean, he is right now. I could do that quickly. I will set Corby to distance education, and I will save it. And now whatever when it comes to the payments, now you could really massage it again. Like you could really massage it again, like you. Now the question is, do they do like if there's a credit card payment involved again, if there's a credit card payment involved again, then you may have to go to Stripe for this occasional payment or whatever, right? So, but otherwise, if you go to payments, you can manipulate the. Sorry, I have to go to the payments fee. You can manipulate them again, right? You can enter a subtotal, whatever it is. If it is the 645, right? Let's say 645.
No, the total is $645. It's
okay.
the subtotal that you work backwards.
Okay, so 645.
He's in Ontario, so he would pay $23.14 tax.
How much?
$23.14.
Oh, $23.14. That okay. So, but
and then the subtotal is I can't remember how much it is.
$645 less that.
Yeah.
So if you just said that the tax was $20 to make it easy, then you would just change that.
I mean, you are charging him. Oh yeah, like this would be then.
Then that would, the first 645 would all of a sudden be
620.
625.
Right. So 625 or whatever, and then yeah, then you whatever the tax is.
Mm-hmm.
And that would pull out then the proper breakdown.
Yes.
Now, is
Okay.
it? I mean, here's what the person paid, and this is what the taxes are, right? I mean,
Yes.
Correct.
you could say you could do it in another way. Let's say even if the person has to pay, even if the what would we put there? Yeah, the person had to. If the person had to pay $900, but you will only charge him $20 taxes or whatever, right? You can basically type in whatever you want
Exactly.
here in these fields, right?
Yep.
Right, and then
Also,
right, and then you would go like if it is a check payment again, like payment method. If it is a check payment, you just enter it below. If it will be an ETF payment, you will just enter it below. If it is a credit card payment, this thing will not work, right?
no, it won't work.
It will work. Okay, hold on.
No, that
You'd
won't
have to
work.
do it in the back end.
Hold on. I mean, Corby was. I would have to look at Corby's chapter here. I would have to look at Corby's chapter. Corby is what chapter? Corby is test chapter number 1. So, and if I go to the chapters number 1, edit the fees. So there, what was it? Distance education. Where did this fee of 1,000 came from? Oh yeah, here distance education is 1,000.
Yeah, because it's just what you poked in.
Right. This is what we pulled in. So if I go now to Corby again, Corby's record again, and basically I process. No, but what will it charge, Corby? No, here's no tax fee on it right now. We better check that. Can it be?
And we'd never charge the whole amount.
Right.
I think that's why you would have to go in the odd. That's another little exception.
Right. No, but I just noticed something. The renewal fee, we set it to 1,000, but this should actually be 1,130.
Oh yes.
It's just not showing the taxes. It would calculate it after.
No, but wouldn't this have to say 1,130? Yeah.
For the taxes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it's just showing the subtotal. It's not showing the actual amount that's going to be charged with taxes there.
Oh, it would be 1,130.
Yeah.
Okay. You're sure? Okay.
So you're going to fix that, Corey, or does it matter?
Well, I should probably show the full total there.
Show the full total. Yeah, including taxes, right? So yeah. I mean, okay. So there it will show. No, but then again, that was my point. The fee calculation will not work in this case. For these special distance education people, it will not work.
No.
So here it would say 1,130. It would say 1,000.
So she would have to go in through the other way to do it, right?
Exactly. Exactly, because the person will get charged less, right? The person will get charged less. Like the membership fee would be whatever it was, 645 minus. No, the membership fee would still be, what would it be? 1,000 or what? Is it correct? Yeah. Let's say we define.
It would still be the 1,000, but then it would only be, say, $20 worth of tax
instead of 1,130, right? And the total charge then
1,020,
right? So in this case, you could not use the button. So Corby, are you making a note as well? Like,
we're gonna run into a problem though, like, because this whole Stripe thing doesn't let you put in subtotal, tax, and total on that manual payment. So.
All right. No.
We're really getting into a situation where we're gonna have to add like another.
No.
Credit card thing on this page too, where you just enter in the totals yourself, like we're planning to do for other payments.
Okay.
With all these like custom changes.
But Corby, like, how can I say? In the ideal scenario, for every member except for distance education, we would click this button, and this would have to show the real total amount that they pay, their membership fee plus taxes. So in this case, it would say 1,130. But we cannot do that. We cannot charge this distance education 1,130. We will charge him less because the taxes are less. So in this case, the membership fee would still be $1,000. The taxes would be only 20 or whatever, because the taxes are only calculated on a certain part of it. The total payable is 1,020. So in these,
We can't do that on this Stripe thing. We can't. We just send them the total, so we'd only send them the 1020, but we wouldn't know what the tax or subtotal is.
But Arlene would know when she's doing it.
Arlene would enter it here, so we know what the taxes is.
Yeah.
But here on this.
So would it be easier? Oh, sorry, Michael.
No.
Would it be easier, Corby and Michael, if we pulled the distance ed off of the membership payment screen and add it to the other payment screen?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No, because it is. There's
Well, if they
membership.
don't renew, I don't know. Just all the payments you do, they're going to be like done manually. They're going to get sent to you, right?
Yeah. So it is a payment.
But they're still members.
Yes.
Well, is it possible that a distance ed student could register for a course on their own, and then I would just finish up the rest behind the scenes? Send them their course outline and assign them an instructor and do all that stuff that I do?
Well, the only reason we couldn't do that is because you had told us we weren't going to do that.
Yeah, exactly. No, it has to stay a member. Corby, I don't know what to. I don't.
But Michael, can you move the screen that's up over a bit so we can see the Stripe one?
Yeah.
So see there where you have an amount. Yeah. Can't she just type in $1,020?
Yeah, that should work, Corby.
She can, but like I'm just thinking of later down the road when you want like reports and stuff. Like this won't show you the tax.
Oh, that would never show up.
But
yeah, you would know.
But Corby, a Stripe report would not show us the taxes. A Stripe will always only show us the total amount paid, right?
Sometimes we'll send it the subtotal tax just as like metadata when we do it online.
Okay.
But I guess like if we don't do that, it wouldn't.
What would we be using for reporting? A Stripe report or reports out of the database?
No, both. Both. I mean,
so our bookkeeper would use the Stripe reports, I could see, because she needs to have all the figures.
Right, but Stripe usually.
And we send her those now.
But Corby, here, for example, Stripe will not show a tax. Do we? Do we record that somewhere? Like, let's say, I would have to use a different browser.
We only send Stripe a total, but
yeah,
like when we do like a renewal or something, we have the option to send it whatever extra data we want, and usually I'll send it subtotal, tax, and total just like separately, but it's totally optional. It's just something that we do.
Okay.
So that's why you don't see it as a field there when we do these manual payments that it had there.
Right.
It's just an amount.
So, but what I just mean is a Stripe report will not show us a Stripe report. If I download the Stripe reports here, let's say I'm signing now into this account here. I just want to see something. I just want to see something. So if I look now at if I look at payments here now for this, here's a student membership renewal. It will just give us the total amount paid, and will give us the fee. No, that's not the tax. That's the fee basically.
Oh, that's a fee. Sorry.
That Stripe will
charge.
So I mean, I don't know.
CNS.
Yeah, that's CNS. If I export,
go to like the annual meeting one.
Here.
Yeah, like the third one.
Yeah. Another one? Hold on.
Go to the third one there.
This here. CNS annual meeting. Okay, good. So here is the total paid. Here's the fee that Stripe charged.
No metadata. So that's usually where I put it in metadata.
Right. Okay. So and how would it show up in a report?
I think the metadatas just have their own columns when you do that. Right. I don't know which one that might have one filled in.
Okay, so I don't
know, like, we could do something like, because I have to change this button at the top anyways, the that green button where you process a credit card, I have to kind of change that anyways, because we're using like a pre-built system, and it forces you to type in the CVC, which we don't want.
Right. Okay.
So I'm going to kind of make some changes to this anyways. What we could do is we could just have it so you could enter in
Enter
the
the
total.
taxes. Yeah. Oh, brilliant solution. Okay, cool. You can use this button. Okay, so forget all we said.
Awesome.
Good. That's what we will do. We will modify this form here. And it will be, Kobe, where did we have that anyways? Oh, on the refunds, basically, kind of, right? If I go,
Yeah.
to the members, I should go back to members. There we had already. If I go to this member, and we make a form similar to this here. Payments. If I go to this here, where you can type an amount, we will make this payment form, the green button, like this. We will pull in the figures.
Yeah.
We will pull in the figures or whatever, right? And then you can overwrite them. And then you click submit, and then that's what we will do. Okay, so you can use the green button. We will just modify the green button.
So the green button will look like this. It will have the subtotal, tax total.
Right, and then
everything below it will be gone, but then it will just have like the credit card name, number.
Right.
Then that's it.
Right, so it will show, when you click the green button, it will show you what the member has to pay, what taxes the member has to pay, and what the total is. And then you will have here a name on card number, and expiry date, date. And then you click submit. So, and then you can manipulate the thing here live. Yeah, that's the most brilliant solution. Yeah. So this button, you can use then this button at any time. We will get rid of this. And we'll make it look like, we'll make it look like this, where we break it apart.
Perfect.
Good. Okay.
Good.
Okay, so fix subtotals. Totals and green button. Okay. Good. All right. Okay, so then Doug, you had another question.
Yeah, since we're running way over, so I just wanted to let you know we're going to be wanting to use the voting membership, voting application. It's not for members voting; is for motions.
Okay.
So I'll just quickly send you out an email and tell you exactly what we want, and then we can talk about it at another time.
Sounds good. Excellent. Okay.
Still on for Thursday?
Yeah, and what we want to go over then quickly is the front end record update and renewal form. Just discuss them quickly, and then we continue with those. Right, like what the member will see. Yeah, good. Okay, so I think.
Yeah, but we keep you guys busy.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right. No, but today that was very productive. Like it was. Yeah, we have now the perfect approach for this. Yeah, so we don't.
Awesome.
Cool. Okay.
Arlene, before you go to lunch, I need to call you quickly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, guys.
Okay, then.
Okay. Thanks, fellas. It's been good time.
Great. Excellent.
Hey, Doug, send me an email after.
Okay.
Pardon me?
Send me an email after.
Okay.
Or call me.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Talk to you
soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
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 Bye.